Hello! I am finally back to finish this live stream for the Vigilant because I started Subductor because I didn't think anyone would care to see the end, and I immediately got comments saying, when you finishing this, buddy?" And I was like, I see. Okay. So I am back to finish this run. Normally I'd wait to get a little bit more people in for those that are watching the recording, but yeah, I just wanted to start to get it going. I don't think I did the steps to learn the Necron language. I think I failed like the one check on the previous world to do that. Hey, finally made it. I do stream at very random times. I hope you've all been well. So today I was trying to work on a special operative Psyker Pyromancer build because I was hoping to use Orchestrate Flame with the Cyber Eagle because someone on Reddit said you could. And I was like, that sounds like that could be interesting. Tested it, don't work. It can't be done. So I was like, shame. Yeah, so the Eagle doesn't attack with weapon attack, so it can't use Orchestrate. So the guy who came up with the idea, or wanted to come up with the idea, had never tested it. It don't work. Do you know who hasn't pwned anything in a while? Heinrichs.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. Isn't this a job for the serfs? Me, if you insist, Lord Captain. If I may. Me, if you insist, Lord Captain.
Insignificant. I need just a little bit more.
I'm not.
There we go. Oh, I could have just bring it down to Era to give her the option to buff. Didn't think that through.
Was it you? Or will do?
But yeah, Heinrichs hasn't had the opportunity to murder anyone for a long while.
Scorn the pain. But of course, Lord Captain. For the I've done with this one.
And away he goes. It's just so much unbelievable damage.
I won't object to it. I feel the power surging. Your reckoning is due. I need a foothold. Not sanctioned to do this.
Ooh. Why can't I attack you?
Let's see.
Strange. But he can attack me?
No. I'm just this one.
Yeah?
The Emperor is on our side.
Why? Okay. I can't attack this Necron. Something's gone wrong.
But of course, Lord Captain.
Okay, game's bugged out. I can't attack that guy.
Let's see. Reassemblement commencing. Get me a target. I won't do that. Naturally. Let's be calm. Your reckoning is due.
Well. What do when it won't let me attack him?
For the throne's
It
glory.
understands he's there, but I can't damage him. Game's bugged out. Does anyone know? Oh, 1 second. I'm just gonna have to fix this. Okay. To do a quick little thing.
This battlefield air is good for my lungs.
Alright, so we should have the stairs up. That one and that one.
Wanna see a trick?
More trouble than it's worth. Not sanctioned to do
Again,
this.
what?
But of course, I'm done with this one.
Strange.
Now, be gone. I'll put my psychic abilities to use.
That's too bad. Would have been cool. By the way, does anyone know offhand where the Eagle item target harassment is? I believe it's Act 3. I've been playing a lot of Mechanicus yesterday, and my god, did Alcat miss the mark with what they could have done with Magos and Pascal. There's so much they could have done. Let's buff our Gentle this time.
You've got a problem, I've got a prize.
Rejoice in battle!
Tell me, and it is done.
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. God Emperor, move through me.
Oh.
Be the thought
Death
of my
mark.
heart.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, kicked.
I'll do it. My Emperor! As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Escape the Emperor's judgment. I hold all cards. Guided by faith. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Nothing. Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
She does so much.
As the Emperor can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay, still got those guys. Oh. Well. But also...
If I may. In the name of House Orselio, I shall
I'll do it.
prevail.
she's not going to make it. But I can save all of that. Oh, actually... I wonder... Will this possibly blow apart my own team? Yes. Yes, it may possibly.
Faith without
Fuck it, we
deeds
ball.
is worthless.
Cassian did die! Just on Act 3, I took A-buffs for the first time in Lugred. I felt so bad when I found him. Yeah, and his debuffs make it really hard to use him. Oh, Falconry, the next big upgrade for it. Yeah, cool.
It's about time.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, I can't do these checks because I didn't bother to learn the Necron language, which I think you do on the first world. I just didn't. Whenever the wearer moves one of their combat tactics areas, the bonuses granted by this area are doubled. Interesting. That's new. Or maybe it's not new. Maybe I've just never bothered with it, but it's a bit late for me to care. I can't remember if there's anything else about here. Just investigating. Really? Nothing, huh?
A new challenge for me?
I can see why I skipped this in the Grim Dark run now. Oh, yeah. So you're going back to Act 2. A-Blood does get messed up in the Act. I'd run an Iron Man unfair, rolled the content, then got one rounded by a Necron ship. Thank you for your builds. Truly enjoying the game right now. I'm really glad to hear. Yeah, no, anything to make it more reliable. Yeah, a lot of other people require you to have a lot of in-depth game knowledge to go into unfair and like intricate knowledge of buff loops and builds that just don't work without custom mercenaries to buff them. And I kind of wanted to put together builds not designed that way, so you could actually just play the game with them. And that's how my build sheet and why the channel started up with Rogue Trader. So I'm glad that it's been of help to you. Alright, we're going down to the world to find out that Ulfar was the one that took out his whole pack. This is a really cool section as well. Ah, that's the point. I've got to remember if Ulfar's in a ship position to put him back on that position. There are so many times you have companions run off and then you get them back and you have to reassign them to different areas. If you forget to do that, it's going to be all sorts of problems. Yeah, if you forget to reassign people to their posts, massive issues. There we go. Back where you should be. Christ, I put children in a position. I'm waiting to try Castigator. I know I have a build. Yeah, no, there's a lot to show off for the Castigator build. Been having a lot of fun with that myself. So this mission requires a bit of Ulfar. Who do we want here? So Czech's covered the same here. Doesn't really matter all that much, actually. Between Jay, Cassie, and Idra, we've got everyone. Argenta it is. No, I've not dropped the Seductor playthrough. I'm just finishing the Vigilant one. Got a few questions of people asking why I hadn't finished it. I'm glad to hear the builds are helping.
Follow my lead.
A space wolf never fails in their duty.
Then we get our first Melter Pistol. Way too late to do anything with it. And an Astartes Power Sword for Ulfar. Not as good as what he's already using. .10% armor pen works out to be more than 10% damage, so the difference is here, Axe is better.
Both strong and wise is Ulfar.
Yeah, the knockdown and Subductor is absolutely crazy. There's a lot more to do with it with gear later. We'll get to that when we get to it. Castigator, you really want to run through Iconoclast because you get a lot of bonuses to Fellowship, so that's why you'd go that route for that. Heretic wise, I'm going to think of a good Heretic build to actually go with. I want to do something thematic, so maybe a Heretic Warrior Pyro, something like that.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Right there.
I rise to the occasion. We
Is
need
it
to
mortal
investigate.
or a trap?
I think
I did fine.
Noble has one of the most. You don't really see much with Arbitrator. You don't really see much with
Excellence matters.
Yeah, Psychos don't see much. I think Noble has quite a few. I haven't tested Commissar, but I've heard good things about Commissar. Let's see what my brother's been up to. My brothers. Once again, fate has barred me from traveling to the halls of the Arfather with my brothers. Yeah, 'cause you fuck. I'm actually quite disappointed that Arbitrator didn't have that many options. I would have thought it would have had a lot more to it. So basically, Ulfar here is having a fever dream of fighting his brother, seeing as he's the one that basically lost to the curse that the Spaceballs have, and he was the one that killed his brothers. I imagine Crime Lord has a lot on footfall.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. Isn't this a job for the serfs? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
So it it shall be. See how the wolf succeeds. In disgrace. The fame-hungry cow. So I will carve runes out of your bones. See how the war will become the altar and worthy die in disgrace. I hunger for battle. Fenris shoulder!
Interesting. Yeah, Navy officer for the Heartless could be pretty fun.
Wolves reign! Come! Runes out of your bow! I challenge you, damn get! So it shall be! Disgrace!
Absolutely shreds him.
See how the wolf succeeds!
You can really see why people think Ulfar are strong if they haven't seen a well-built Argenta to compare it to. Because he fucks. He just doesn't fuck as hard. Ooh, this last one. Oh damn, we actually made the willpower check. Yeah, Argenta, because she has the rare fire gear, just does so much more on her unique 2x crit helm. It just... it's not the same. It's just not the same. It's gear. It's all gear that makes her stronger.
At night, fight. It is strong. Should you hear a no. Our the frost, the curse of the wolf is the should water.
It does nothing but give him extra strength. At least it looks cool. But the abilities are hot trash. Yeah, I love the assassin stuff. You won't really see much until Act 4. But it's a fun run. There's a couple of people on the Owlcat Discord who are running through using that build. Damn. It's because Ulfar's a soldier, not a warrior, so he's not going to have the same tanking capabilities as Abelard, who can obviously, every time he's hit, stack deflection. So you can start with 20 deflection, take 20 hits, and then you've got 40 deflection, on top of all of his armor reduction on top of that. But Ulfar really should have been a warrior.
Tolerate weakness. I will find out who condemned my brothers to death, and I will bring them.
Feels like I'm underwater.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. If I may, isn't this a job for the serfs? Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. I'll paint your death in colors.
Nothing I can't do. Not a problem for me. Already done. My tactics are flawless. Suits my nothing of value has been lost.
Everything went crazy there.
Nothing I can't do. All too easy. Let's see how they respond to this. Nothing I can't do. Already done. Not a problem for me. Losing me was your biggest mistake. I'll bring glory to my bloodline. Nothing shall survive.
I don't even take deflection on hit for Abelard. Everything's first turn, don't need it. True. Once you get there, that is true.
Suits my didn't stand a chance. Nothing I can't do.
Strange. Why'd it go back to Cassia?
Isn't as duty demands.
Ah, they shall weep. Heavy void suit. We've also got double damage gloves. Oh, they've in the service goal here. When the servo skill extrapolates the overseas abilities, they get 1 stack of added stimulus at 5 stacks next to turn. Unnecessary. Advanced shield. Fury incarnate. Who wants incarnate? You would appreciate the damage more, but we want to show off Argenta more. At this point, he doesn't really need either, actually.
Would you look at that?
And Insanity Gloves. As well as the strongest sniper in the game. More is good. Heavy Morgan, the double hits with buffs. Strong.
They say a
Very
little
strong.
bit of humility never hurts anyone. I help others better themselves by wholeheartedly
How good is the
humiliating
Corrupted
them.
Infernal Pistol to Act 3? It's an Act 1 weapon. It's the only time you can get it. It will do fairly well for a lot of the game. How would you recommend a Commissar sword and pistol build? How would you go? Warrior. The pistol's not gonna... You have to choose. Do you want your sword to do nothing? Or do you want your pistol to do nothing? And that's kind of what Mixed Attacker is until Act 4. Act 4 you get Arc Militant's Cape, which makes the melee from range do a lot of damage. So it's better to go Warrior in my opinion.
This void ship will not be defeated.
Leave their hulls strewn across the stars. Macro cannon, volley!
Heartless doing work.
Fire right now! Lay in the course. Torpedoes, locked!
Even with Chordo, who has a lot of special abilities just for pistols, they kind of drop off pretty hard. The fighters are stopping it moving. Eldari armor, no. Eldari swords, yes, but accessories, no. Goose. Yeah, Yurla and Marashi. Carlos is getting fucked up. Nice. Slowly. They've crashed. Hey Ben, love and appreciate your work. Help me understand what's actually going on with the game and the mechanics work rather than brute force my favorite. Glad to hear. That's what it's there for. Fucker. He really fucking hates the Heartless. Got him. And here we go. Yeah, how's everyone else's runs going? See, look, he has 2 gun arms. Why can't fucking Pascal have 2 gun arms? God, Mechanicus has ruined me. There's so much more they could have done for Pascal. Good doggy. Alright, let's see what people have to say goodbye. Band of videos, love the builds. Question for you, what is the fastest way to find a rock saw? Leveling up in Act 2 in the vendors. Yeah, Solomon. The leadership of the steps. I will become the next marshal or not. Nice. Yeah, Pascal got done dirty in this game. I beat Unfair a few days ago with your modified arbitrary determinant build. Nice. Where's Bella? Where? Oh. So, who do we want to take? Do we want to show how ridiculous Argenta is? Yes. Do we want to show how ridiculous Heinrichs is? Also, yes. Yep, I'm guilty of making a few builds or two. Best thing to do, pick something, run with it, get through so you get a better understanding of the game, and then you can design more builds and then get stuck in deciding what you want to play next.
None shall stand.
I know several individuals who would be willing to lay down a lot of thrones for a pile of this dead scrap. And a couple of obliging explorators too.
Mistress Haydari, if you ever manage to pull off such a trade, I would be extremely interested in the identities of the purchasers.
Wait 1 second. I'm going to need to quickly save and come out because the underwater sound I'm getting in my headphones is horrible. What shocks me is how much RP value having the Eagle compared to other pets gives you. There have been so many times I just get people at my side because... Ah, interesting. That's very interesting. I'm glad to hear that they've been doing stuff like that. I didn't really see any for having the dog. I'm guessing a noble overseer with the Eagle probably has a lot of RP going on.
A new challenge for me.
God, Necrons are so fucking cool. It's definitely my favorite faction. Yeah, I was getting the aquarium sound, that's why we menued.
Hey, what's that?
Aha.
It's about time.
My pleasure.
So, Necrotech Hotshot Lasgun, very good. And what is this they've snuck in? Last Ditch Armor. Once the wearer's wounds reduce to 0 for the first time, they immediately regain 7 wounds remaining in combat and gain 100% momentum, 70% medium, 70% against 15% against leading. What is that tied to? Tough and willpower. Interesting. Just late game snuck in some armor for a priest. How does it look? Not bad.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Hidden anything over here? Yep. Jesus Christ, that must be so scary. If you were here, like, fuck. Fuck, so many Necrons, fuck.
A job for me.
What have we got here? Oh, this is all new. What the fuck? Astral Currents. In the first round of combat, the wearer gains the following effects. 20 MP. The wearer's movement cost is not affected by threatened areas. The wearer's movement does not trigger attack of opportunities. Oh, Jesus Christ. The rack. The wielder can make a 3 attack with this weapon if they shoot from the ruin on the same turn. Oh, these are shotgun pistols. The wearer can make a 3 attack with the rack if they shoot from pistols on the same turn. Okay, so they just gave 2 really overpowered fucking pistols. Just here you go, 3 overpowered pistols. Yes, Jay will have rack and ruin. What the fuck? Just look me, overpowered weapons. Jesus Christ.
Victory awaits.
They was like, hey, need some endgame fucking guns? Like, and look at that. 30, 40 damage base. What the fuck? Fuck. Fuck this creature.
Die, inhuman scum!
Don't get too cocky. Am I getting paid for this?
Nothing stands against me.
Interesting, break the ranks. Well, we have to go try this pistol.
Across a Kazbalikan. You got it?
Oh my god, it's infinite shooting as long as you just keep switching between them. What the fuck? So you can just infinitely shoot with the 2 shotgun pistols. What the fuck? That's crazy.
But of course. Anything else?
Don't mind me, just bluffing.
On it. Anything else? Was it you?
Who wants to get fucked up?
Damn! What was the command again? Oh, right. What other? Anything else?
I shall not fear. Not a problem for me. All too easy.
108, not bad.
Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. Not a problem for me.
Pretty respectable damage, not gonna lie.
I am fear incarnate. Nothing I can't do. Nowhere to hide. Another clean strike.
He's still got attacks, it's funny.
If I may. Isn't this a job for the serfs? In the name of House Orselio, I shall prevail.
Already done.
Let's bring the dog up. Apparently, I don't see this guy.
Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me. Suits my purposes. Already done.
Hey.
All too easy. Not a problem for me. There's nowhere to hide.
Fuck your Necrons. Blah, blah, blah.
Nothing I can't do. Suits my
Bank.
purposes.
Amrix, what are you up to? Actually, ooh, Argento.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Strike is a prayer. Faith without deeds. Doubt is for the weak.
Silly. Respect dog, never kick dog. No, we don't kick dogs.
Me? Try to die with grace, at least. Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Argento's at return.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Necron got fucked just from being kicked.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. As the
Awakening cannot be stopped. None shall stand in my way.
One and it's done.
No, I should have stolen some gear. The inertia boots would be very nice here. Oh wow. That's a really high low Zenith check. Eagle or dog? Dog's way better. Way better. Well, he really made sure she was dead.
A new challenge for me?
Do you see that?
Oh, dead Magos. And there's the full auto shotgun. Get a bit late, don't you? And Sanguine Thirst also comes in a bit late. Bloody Fury Cloak also comes in a bit late. Yeah. Oof. But we will give the full auto to Argenta. So what does the burst
The
fire
Emperor
look
sets
like
my
on it?
path.
Wait, what? That's some weird range. Okay,
I'll
I
do
will
it.
need to test that. I'll use wildfire. Egghead doesn't have heroic since there is an item that lets all the obscure targets crit anyway. Eagle's incredibly underdeveloped. Yeah, the whole Overseer needs some buffs. The developer said they might consider some buffs for Overseer. Oh, Necrons are so cool. I hope DLC 3 really expands on them.
You from the face of the galaxy.
Two are better than one. Tell me, and it is done.
I just realized I have 9 AP.
Am I getting paid for this? I can do that with the right incentive. You just shortly.
As the Emperor commands, I act. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Well, let's see what wildfire reveals.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
Okay. What damage did that even use? I'm pretty sure that counted as a burst fire. Yes, muzzle velocity. So yes, that did count as a burst fire. So, in theory, rapid fire would double it.
As the Emperor commands,
but it
I
doesn't. Shame.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. Faith
Alright,
with
build up some degraded defense, and let's say hello to your mother. Yeah.
Quiet, Whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it myself. On it. Anything else? What? Was that you? Or...
I want a medal for that. Don't.
Stupid weapon. It's beam, 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 beam. That is definitely the end game pistol combo. What the fuck?
God Emperor move through. Be the fire in my heart. Power resides in the will of the righteous. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Guided by faith, I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. Doubt is for the weak.
Damn, it's at a weird angle.
As the
Cool.
I'll do it.
Yeah, see, she's still got a free attack. And Jade does not have pair holster on, by the way. So I'm guessing with pair holster, one of those will be free. Who's even alive? The two death marks.
I have read terms of military tactics. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. I am a navigator, not a servant.
Got everyone so far. I don't think anyone will actually be able to get up here. But if I give Jay a turn, I could, can't.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Rejoice in battle! In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. I'll do it. Faith.
One of those bullets did 1,000. That one did 1,300 damage. Fuck me, is she strong? Irik's just standing up like, hi. Also, hi. Yeah, the inertia boots are just... That's some Dragon Ball Z shit going on when you get the inertia boots. What was this loot I didn't pick up? Oh. A book. Oh, okay, who doesn't have items? Going into the end of the game, we should really have items. Oh, a mouse stims. Ow.
Victory awaits.
Extremely low accurate rotator power level. It's something. Alright, what would you say is the best build for Eurolit right now? Bounty Hunter. It's the way you can get most attack economy, because you can loop Heretic 2, you can loop Hunter's Ambush, you can use her Wanderer's Potent, and you can also try to line up extra shots with her Eye of Hecticon, and then you've got Claim the Bounty, so you've got a minimum of 6 attacks round you're doing. Executioner Eurolit's also fun, most damage, but obviously you're killing less enemies. Oh. Oh, this new. Ugh, Necrons are cool as shit. I can't wait for DLC 3. They've only just dropped DLC 2 and I'm looking at DLC 3. Let's kill clones. Is that me as a psycho? They understand I'm an arbitrator vigilant, yes? Merciful Reflection, Cursed Reflection, and the Glorious Reflection. Wait, I'm the glorious one. I'm Walker von Valancius, the Magnificent. I know myself, and I certainly do, and now proceed to make you... Ah, he's the solo one guy. That's the pathetic one. You seem to think you're better than the rest of us, don't you? And yet I'm the only one clever enough to become master of my own fate and not be reduced. Cool. Indeed I have. I'm the most influential figure in the entire expanse. Caligos was slain by the Xenos in his successful EVM became my puppet. Incendia chases pirates, not realizing it was me that is raiding her colonies. Ah, funny. Mercy is weakness. Alright, let's have me kill them all. Walker, you are about to get all the buffs.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. If I may, if only that were possible. I am a navigator, not a servitor. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Advanced tracking. We bring the dog.
I don't have time for this. Not a
Ah, epilogue.
Suits my... Another clean strike. Nothing I can't do.
I'll paint your death in colors.
All too easy.
Dodged.
Not a... Already done. Nothing I can't do.
This Idra is about to get fucked up.
Another clean strike. All too easy.
You know, I did not check to see what weapons they had on them. This one's got the life-draining sword. He died before I could even check. And you got anti-vehicle revolver.
Not a problem. Posing me was your biggest
It's a lot of damage.
Suits my purposes. Already done. Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me. Suits me.
Easy. So, copy of the anti-vehicle revolver and the auto-striking parry sword, as well as phone appeal of the assassin.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Over here, we have... So, we have Eruption, as well as life-draining sword, staff of shock and awe, malicious body glove. Okay. What did you chaps have? So, we have Bonebreaker's Maul, solar stuff. For some reason he was a psyker, casking armor, and the light carapace scale armor. Shotguns, yeah, shotguns are pretty good.
A new challenge for me?
Then back here we have the Exodus Long Last, one of the best ones in the game, with 25% hit chance with Zealot. Relic Silencer, the wearer does not lose the elusive effect if they attack from cover, so that it's sniper items. And if I remember, there is items up over here. Dude, these Lord Xeno checks are damn high.
Am I there, sir?
None shall stand in my way.
My pleasure.
I wish there was so much more with the Necrons. I cannot wait for DLC 3. Bounty on Arbitrator is a lot of fun. Claim the bounties a free shotgun blast is mental. Yeah, it's good. And up here we have Incandescent Storm. Every attack action on this plasma gun has a separate cooldown, so you can fire all of the plasma gun shots with it. All of this plasma gun's action can be used in a single turn, so this gives you 3 attacks for Pascal. It's really good. You also get Critical Litany, which when combined with the earlier Litany is also very strong. There are so many good items just right outside the final boss room, it is dumb. Rosary of Defense, the wearer has number of unyielding beacon stacks to ignore damage. Hey look, a good Vanguard item. Ah, Necron's getting blasted. Duk, 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 duk. 20%
A
chance.
job for me.
Oh shit, we actually got the chance. So in here you get Ulfar's really good axe, which is the Singer of Fearsome Sagas. Attacks with this axe deal additional damage equal to 5% of target's maximum wounds. This bonus applied to enemies once per round. Rallying Boots, whenever the wearer uses following that ally deals 33% more damage with their next attack. And Minor Symbol Circlet, whenever the wielder uses a psychic power, they can trigger one following effect. 50% chance to reduce the AP cost and decrease fail degradation by 2. 25% chance to use psychic power as usual. 25% chance to decrease fail degradation by 3. Yeah, you get a lot of Vanguard items for the final boss. It's like, yeah, we were worried that you might not be able to tank the boss. Here's some shit. There's a DLC helm that also gives you a chance to avoid all damage equal to resolve. That's a Twitch drop. Poor Necrons, they're not the best in melee. I remember that, playing Necrons against many a melee faction in 3rd edition. Just the regular warriors, that is. Alright, so we have to be careful not to walk into this field of fire. Dude, the first time I did this, it fucking sucked. Because you gotta shoot the power generator. Except I don't see it.
I'm restless. Doubt is for the weak.
There we go.
I rise to the occasion.
And then ship selling items. I don't know why on earth the game gives that to us here. Start an Iconoclast run instead of Dogmatic feels weird to play. Oh yeah. Iconoclast feels like that you're literally making decisions that you know for a fact will hurt humanity. And it's like, I'm just dooming the entire species because of my own ego. Oh, I did not know it did that. Oh fuck. I did not know that turret just shoots you if you come up behind it.
Yes. Anything else?
One way to cripple the party before the final boss.
Anything else?
Iconoclast does get the best med packs though.
Stand still.
Thank you.
None shall stand in my way.
So the question is, how do we want to bully the final boss of the game? Do we want to try to do as much as we can with the dog and shotgun? Or do we want to let Idra go onto it? Do we want to let Argenta go ham? Do we want to let Heinrichs go ham? So many options for who can fuck with the final boss. Yeah, just let me take on every trauma in the world. Oh. My lovely lady came up to let me know it was dinner time. Iconoclast for its faults is hope maxing in the grimdark future, but yeah, but it's just so dumb. Because, like, it's stuff that lets the Drukhari murder rape through your species. It's stuff that lets the Gene Stealers go. It's stuff that lets Chaos take root. It's every option you make as Iconoclast is so dumb. It's so dumb. It's a shame. This section is one of the few sections I think should be voice acted. But yes, we find out that the Drukhari and Theodora are all working with Xavier, and they fucked up everything. And they're all trying to compete over this shard of Necron power, and even the Chaos Zinchant enemy wanted it.
Submit and you'll die quickly. I'll turn you into corpse starch.
There's no point siding with him, because even if you do, he just gets one shot by the fucking boss anyway. Fiend of VMO 6 PP gets shot.
Me? Never in 1,000
What?
sectors.
Jay, where are you? Oh.
Tell me and it is done. I can do that with the right
The Emperor is on our side.
Break their ranks applies to shotguns. How fun.
I know what I'm doing. Don't cross a Kazbalikan.
All too easy. Suits my purposes. Nothing.
What happened to the dog?
Already done.
Oh, do be serious.
Another clean strike.
For the throne.
Well, we might as well. Let's go.
Get me a target. Stand against me. I won't object. I'll put my psychic abilities to use. But of course, I'm done with this one. Let's see. For the throne, I'm done with this one. I won't object. I need a foothold.
So much damage.
Of course, Lord Captain. Let's see to it.
Oh, we missed someone.
I'm done with this one.
No.
Yeah.
The yoke must be activated, or all is lost.
Oh, they voice act that section at least. Yeah, Heinrichs don't give a fuck. Well, let's see what the dog can do against the shard, I guess. You don't understand how fucking cool this was to me when I first got here, because I'm seeing, like, my faction from when I was a child just, like, come to life. Ah, lovely 14 FPS.
Smite the Xenos.
Well, I guess we kind of want Jay somewhere up there, and she's going to be our buff bot for this. Idra, we're going to need you within 4 tiles of the boss, and your Raven up here as well. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, perfect. Everyone else, it don't matter. You're all going to get buffed. Alright, I want to see... What?
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Do not
Oh.
ask.
I can't buff because it continues from the last encounter. Interesting.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Very interesting.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I am a navigator, not a servitor. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
On it. Anything else? But of course. Will do.
So, Boots of Decay lowers a lot of deflection, just in case you guys weren't aware. So,
I shall prevail.
advanced tracking. Let's bring the dog up. 20 damage, not the most here.
Not a problem for me.
But his armor on the boss is still pretty high. That should help, dropping that again. Alright, so when the boss teleports us, the dog should come back to fuck him up. Alright, let's start seeing what we can do. 500 start with, dog doing another 100.
Already done.
Then we are going to concentrated fire.
Not a problem.
1300, dog doing another 200. Let's throw out some strategic adaptation. 1400, dog doing 245 there.
All too easy. Nothing.
1600. We are building some damage here.
Suits my watch and learn.
1999. Dog did 0, so that's the his invulnerability phase. So he's going to try teleporting us about.
All too easy.
So I want to not accidentally shoot my allies here. So we're gonna... Now can I run and gun to an angle where I can hit the orb and this shard? No.
Nothing I can't do. Nothing of value has been lost.
Anyway.
Already done.
Alright, let's keep shooting. Alright, well, it's 2,000 shotgun shots. The dog doing 400 damage now.
Suits my purposes. Watch and learn.
Another 2,000. Dog doing another 355.
All too easy.
Alright. Another 2,000. Now let's see. Is the shard going to get us or the dog?
Not a problem for me. Nothing that's no fair.
Another 2,448. Oh, the shard has not used his ability. We just win with one character. Or do we? Yeah, we just win. The Overseer just soloed the boss. I'm guessing because of the dog, the shard didn't use his ability to paralyze your main character. So because of that, yes, Overseer Shotgun Soldier could potentially solo this boss. Because he doesn't paralyze you if you have the dog attacking him. So the Catan, Catan? Yeah, Catan. You have to call it the Catan, like all the law tubers, because every time I pronounce everything, I get loads of comments. People like, oh, that's not how you pronounce this. That's not how you pronounce Catan, not the Satan. Rogue Trader versus God. So, yeah, Turtle Biscuit asked, can a dog take down a god? The answer was yes. The answer was indeed yes. We go Nomos. Power of the good boy does comprehend all. It does compel all, and it overcomes all. Yep, Road Trader doing Road Trader things. Oh, have they changed anything here? Cool. The Catan Shard transmuted into a new form, and their name was Nomos, possessing the power of an ancient being and nurtured by the Road Trader. The young star god watched over the Cronus expanse, their new domain, with curiosity. Gathering its bleeding wells together again, the Road Trader restored order in the expanse without compromise, protecting the faith and leaving behind any notion that the region could ever be beyond his righteous justice. An expansion began that would slowly turn the sector into a new province of the Imperium where the Road Trader was no longer needed. Oh no! The subjugated deity in the House von Valancius' service ensured the Imperium's firm grip on the Expanse's throat. By eradicating enemies and unbelievers, the Road Trader bestowed a gift upon the sector of faith and certainty of retribution. Perceiving themselves as an entity deeply beholden to the Emperor, the dogmatic run, baby. At the very least, on account of their unholy existence, Nomos exterminated corruption with extra zeal, sometimes raising entire worlds. Weakness of human nature, such as doubt, mercy, or self-loathing, were unknown to the God Emperor's perfect beast. The news from the Expanse was met with deep concern in the Imperium. Some began speaking of a punitive campaign, though it quickly fell silent. A lone ship broke through the Great Rift, carrying a letter to Arcanus bearing the Inquisitional seal. But its letter contained, and who penned it is better left unknown. Maybe something in Dark Heresy. Strict abidance by law and devotion to the Imperial Creed brought great renown to the Road Trader. Every planetary turn on every world in the sector, thousands of prayers were offered to the Golden Throne, praising the name of the Guardian of the Cronus Expanse. Legend has it that God Emperor himself favored his steward, granting him miraculous power to crush evil and shielding him from enemy plots. The truth is that the Ecclesiarchy, in its battle to control the narratives in the Imperium, persecuted those who spread such tall tales, as well as those who demanded the Road Trader be proclaimed a living saint. Incendiary Order contained her merciless fight against the heresies plaguing the Expanse. Not concerning herself with the notions of jurisdiction, she brought the Imperium's justice everywhere she went, killing heretics by the thousands. Stained glass windows with her likeness illuminated by bonfires graced the sector's chapels. With her tightening grip of fear, the prayers of the pious became even more fervent in their reverence of gracious chastiser. Resisting the temptations that besieged him, Caligus Winterscale returned to his domain and began to piece together the shattered remains of the Proctorate. Until his dying day, his actions and thoughts were dedicated to saving the abandoned worlds and protecting its survivors. Alas, he was not able to achieve much in the time he was allotted. He breathed his last breath on the same throne that he refused to leave for decades, adamantly refusing augmentics that would restore his mobility and power to his legs. What a bitch. Don't like Winterscale. Thanks to his patronage of the von Valancius dynasty, the cult of St. Drusus was successful in spreading its influence across the Expanse. Overshadowed by the cults of other saints lost their followers and faced harsh choice: slip into obscurity or swear allegiance to the ideals of the Drusus, the warrior. Living saints are basically Santic demon lords, essentially. The scars that Himerus received on the repentance allotted to him by Sinachornius seemed to strengthen his stubborn character. Having been punished for his transgressions, he could condemn those around him with a lightened heart. He spoke less and less of mercy and more of wrath. Fuck. The deal struck by the Cognizance fleet and the von Valancius dynasty replenished the explorers' dwindling supplies and allowed them to re-embark on a rapid and unrelenting expansion campaign. With powerful bases established in the Expanse, the Omnissiah scouts bravely ventured towards unnamed stars with the same drive that propelled their ancestors to explore the Expanse itself. Give us DLC 3 massive expansion of what the Magos can do. I want to see full Operative reworks. I want to see full Pascal reworks. I want him to be just as fucking powerful as when you're playing Mechanicus. The schism of discontinuing the cycle engulfed the entire Cognizance fleet, and soon civil war was over. Disregarding the commandments of their forefathers, the explorers started down a dangerous path of new comprehension, creation, and revision of procedures and algorithms. The fleet was united once more in its unity. It was ready to stare down the horrors standing in the way of can't say that word, maintenance and operation. Magos Dominus Opticon 22, one of the first to hail the return of the Messiah, took the helm of the Mother Squadron of the Cognizance Fleet, unquestionably embracing the teachings of discontinuing the cycle. He perpetually saw the crushing of any renegades who did not accept the Messiah's words as truth, and earned himself the identified Chrome Scourge. Profitable deals made the Fellowship of the Void and Aren't You Dead von Valansis and helped them subdue smaller brigand squadrons of the sector. Many world stations saw the opening of Fellowship dens in which grotesquely sincere pirate representatives took kickbacks from traders in exchange for safe passage. Naturally, the servants of the von Valansis dynasty and people under the Rogue Trader's protection were safe from the Fellowship of the Void's attacks. Mostly. Tech Priest DLC would go hard as fuck. I hope so. I really hope so. Naturally, the servants of the von Valansis dynasty and the people under the Rogue Trader's protection were safe from the Fellowship of the Void's attacks mostly. They said that twice. After Rise's death, her place was taken by a quiet man who simply called himself a useful acquaintance and was prone to coining his own nonsensical words. I'm guilty of that. Few guessed that the scrawny fellow had been Rise's first mate, who possessed an iron will and truly monstrous nature. On his quiet orders, pirates conducted brazen and violent raids. Kazbalika mission thrived in the riches it acquired in deals with the Rogue Trader. The organization expanded to new markets, built up mercenary armies and fleets, and was ready to defend the legitimacy of its business from the authorities. Those fool enough to deny the right died quick, brutal, and unexplained deaths. Realizing that things were changing in the Expanse, the Kazbalika agents limited their appetites and restricted their trade to goods of moderate risk. They secretly turned the most dangerous trophies over to the Inquisition, alongside information about their suspicious suppliers. Information about the Shadow Alliance was tightly controlled. Nice. When Octavia became the new leader of the Kazbalika mission, she made every effort to not end up like Vladim. The mission's leadership demanded profits, and Chorda's enforcers thirsted for blood. Octavia's dilemma sorted itself out when the day of Footfall's cold traders were arrested and herded onto the Adeptus and Masekis. The ship was undocked from the station and left adrift towards, with no fuel and almost no air. Octavia was not on board. She had made a deal to turn over all of her accomplices, and she what a bitch. A multitude agreements bound the Imperial Navy to the von Valansis dynasty. Captains were eager to patrol the Proctorate, knowing that they would be richly rewarded. Competing ships were lost to pirate attacks and subjected to harsh inspections. Many officers quietly entered the dynasty service, receiving a salary and title in exchange for their excellent skills. Worthy admirals valued their new friends and enjoyed more gold on their uniforms. Nice. Let's hope DLC Pass goes well and we get a Pass 3. My god, we'll be here forever. Hopefully by then we'll be playing Dark Heresy. Charter's Captain Thorthest founded the Thorthest and Companions Merchant Company, excelling in trade and acquiring a substantial escort fleet. After 3 decades, he traveled to the Moor and returned to the Imperium in hopes of obtaining a fabled warrant of trade. It is not known how this venture ended. Dargonis grew and prospered until it became the capital of the Coronis Expanse. The planet was like a giant magnet who's pulled harder towards the Expanse, absorbing treasures, vices of the sector. The voracious and shameless nobility of the Expanse flocked to Dargonis in search of forbidden pleasures. Its librarians harbored dangerous volumes and dark corners harbored dangerous people. Fuck! Who knew to set up a library was the bad ending? The rule of law could not reach the tops of the spires, shrouded in a veil of sinister and mystical rumors. Fuck! Don't build libraries! That's what they just don't build libraries! It breeds fucking chaos cults. Kiva Gamma washed off the stain of its former defilement and became known as a pious and productive world. Hard work and inquisitive study of the mysterious of technology glorified the Deus Machinus. The enthroned Noel Kelvin drew millions of pilgrims and granted the planet's hallowed status. Its sacred calculation continued for centuries, and foremost sages of the Adeptus and Mechanicus traveled to the world so they could attempt to divine its meaning. Janus was conquered, the Xeno spirits were exorcised, and the wilderness was subdued. The fields grew until they covered the entire planet, and billions of tons of provisions were harvested there. Janus had become a breadbasket of the Expanse, and to threaten it would be to condemn millions to starvation. Janus became a melting pot for cultures from hundreds of worlds, taking in refugees from across the entire expanse in its darkest hour. It became a stronghold and a symbol of hope. After the crisis passed, the refugees started to return to their home planets and reclaim their lost worlds, thus earning Janus the proud name, the home of the Reconquista. The mines of Vibo 6 grew deeper and deeper, and soon the planet became the darkest and most frightening colony in the expanse, the final stop for the exiled and the damned. The brutal, hardened inhabitants of the Death World feared neither human nor xeno horrors, knew no mercy, and were known to the most fearsome fighters in the sector. As the most fearsome fighters in the sector, who had traded their lives for the right to leave eternal darkness and the mines. Cool. Guarded, luxurious palaces were built under the climate domes, shrouded by clouds of poison. They housed so many powerful blackguards, persecuted aristocrats, and wealthy scoundrels that Vibo 6 gained unimaginable political influence. Such grand and sinister deeds were done there that, before long, the grim Death World had spoken of as the new political center of the expanse. Interesting. No longer secluded and forlorn, Foulstone turned into a spiritual center of the expanse, clad in gold and power. Rulers went there to be anointed for greatness, criminals for penance, and the righteous for encouragement, and there was no end to them in sight. Yeah, Planet of Banes, congrats. GG. Converted into the Comet Shrine, Foulstone's moon spread the word of St. Cognatius throughout the expanse. Protecting worlds from attacks by enemies of humanity, its servants asked for neither money nor power, but only the relics left by their blessed patron. The wise handed them over with reverence, whilst Haughty learned how heavy the hammer of Foulstone was. The fate of the pure-voiced prophet, guardian of the hallowed crucible, was a sad one. After visiting 7 worlds and bestowing the blessings of transformation upon them, he perished at the hands of bloodthirsty Drukhari pirates along with his retinue and the priceless relic. Get fucked. With the fall of the unholy patron, the Edge of Daybreak, the cult of the Final Dawn, perished as well. Get fucked. That's what you get for having a shit build. No one wants to recruit you. Get fixed. The cult of the Final Dawn perished as well. Every cell of the cult was hunted down and eliminated. Rumors that some worshippers of the ruinous powers had managed to get away, hiding writings in their warp-banished lord under their robes, were baseless. Left without a mission or a leader, the word-bearers retreated. Fuck the word-bearers. The great judgment of Cincinnia Chorda and the atrocities committed by her confessionals until bled footfall dry. The station soon faced labour shortage, and few survivors of the religious purges could handle the increased workloads. Without thrones from the cold trade, the station fell into decay. Footfall entered an era of piety, hunger, and hardship. Sucks to be them. Left without a sun, the Rykad system ceased to exist. Duh. The frigid planet spun away into darkness, no longer held by the gravitational pull of their star. A century later, a fragment of Rykad Minoris entered the system and was snared by void miners. A piece of its rock was dealt to footfall and reverence and used as the restoration of the God Emperor statue and a final memorial to the world devoured by corruption. After the rogue trade's departure, a fleet arrived on Tharasa equipped with hypergene material extractors intending to destroy the cursed mineral in its entirety. But with every block the fleet obliterated, the planet's denizens wasted away as well. Small animals were the first to die, then the world reeled from a series of epidemics, and soon afterwards the people lost the ability to procreate. Few made it off the doomed world, only to wither away under strange stars. Weird. Rumours of the rotting remains of the Nadaru craft world spread across the expanse. Exploiters, privateers, Kasbalika agents, and anyone hungry for the easy money all rushed to the frontier system to vie for a piece of the prize. Some were swallowed by the warp, whilst others perished in skirmishes with their rivals. The most skilled and fortunate returned empty-handed after decades of searching. The colossal ship, as big as Imperial World, simply vanished, as if it had never existed. But the legend of the forbidden treasures lived on and continued to bring in souls to ruin. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sounds like the world got a little bit spicy. Aldari from the fallen Craftworld Crudarch, who once travelled through the darkness of the expanse in a desperate attempt to gather the remains of their kind, were becoming a rarer sight. Even the most skillful Kasbalika agents and audacious bounty hunters with knowledge of Xeno settlements on the edges of the expanse could no longer find their trail. Squads of Aldari Rangers suddenly appeared on different worlds and disappeared abruptly without shedding a drop of blood. Their purpose remained an enigma. Let's see what's going up to Drukhari. Somewhere in the underside of reality lay Gamora, woven from manifold of other dimensions and illuminated as always with the lights of stolen suns, its stars ever filled with screams and agony. Any misfortune experienced by the Dark City became another scar on its appealing face, lost among the thousands of other vile blemishes as long as pain pulsed in the blood-soaked spires. The insatiable and unshakable Gamora continued its flight through the webway with its unchanging ruler, the leader of the Cabal of the Black Heart, and the most dangerous Drukhari, whoever the fuck that is. After the Rogue Trader's visit, dimensional rifts opened around the spire of the Reaving Tempest, flooding the streets of Gamora with demons. The incursion terrified Gamora. The Cabal of the Black Heart managed to stop it, but some of the Archons saw the event as a sign of their leader's weakness. Others interpreted it as a grim omen for the entirety of the Dark City. The fall of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest united Gamora for a brief bloody moment. The elites of the Dark City set their squabbles aside and found new game in tearing apart the domain of Arkham Numerous. The fate of the Reaving Tempest reminded the other Cabals that nothing lasts forever in the Dark City, save the city itself. Leaving the Necron systems behind, the Star Gods eventually obliterated every tomb world on the ancient Xenos race. The old hatred of the Catan, betrayed by their deathless servants, whispered inside him. Following Leaf's destruction, the Typh ended up in the tenacious grip of the Administratum. The clerks stashed the wealth of the Cronus Expanse away in warehouses. A few years later, decision was made to transport the tribute across the moor, where its barges carrying the immense wealth were lost without a trace. GG, goodbye tax. That's just how real tax works. The voices of the Voxmaster Vigis, oh my goodness, dynasties were heard in the Cronus Expanse, trumpeting over on the road of the Rogue Trader. It brought glad tidings to the faithful and instilled horror of heretics awaiting righteous retribution after her death. That's a girl? Okay. Vigdis was granted the honor of being immortalized in a Herald Servo skull. For many centuries to come, her voice praised the Von Valancius dynasty, transmitting orders across the decks. Did not realize it was a girl. Head-butted the microphone. Master Helmsman Ravor diligently executed his duties until his dying day without succumbing to sleep's sweet embrace. Only when the piece of shell penetrated the bridge's armored hull and was stopped by the stern officer's unyielding chest did he finally know rest, leaning against his trusty helm. Sacrificing his health in diligent service to the Rogue Trader and letting his waistline expand even more. High Factorian generous Damrock watched over the dynasty's riches for years. The day his body was found sprawled over his paperwork in his office, his assistant came forward with 2 reports. The most esteemed generous Damrock has passed away of natural causes due to complications of a weakened heart, and as regards your assets, everything is in order. DLC 1 did this guy so much justice. He went from being the most hated character to one of the most badass characters, just out there with a fucking sniper rifle firing pistol bullets over to fucking the enemies. Joska Sauerbach carried on in her service of the Master at Arms, maintaining order on the decks with a maul and a noose. Over the years, she took several husbands, and her descendants came to be named Sauerbachs of the Void, a lesser offshoot of the eminent aristocratic clan from the capital world. There are whispers among the crew that one of the mistresses Sauerbach's children had Winstarian blood in him, something of noble features, particularly that family could be discerned in the young man's genteel face. Whether it was true, whether Joska's resolute, unaccomplished nature could have had attractions to the animals, Seneschal remained a mystery. Oh, Abelard got some! Interesting. Zachary Weiss, choir master of the Astropaths, turned his shame and repentance into an iron chain binding his soul cold and detached. He would never again take a personal apprentice or become close to a subordinate. He dedicated himself to impeccable service, unfailingly carrying out the Lord Captain's orders and surviving at least 7 incidents that wiped out the entire Astropathic choir. Vladimir ended his days as a maintenance servitor on a janitorial team. Get fucked. Losing his life due to an error by a technomat who sent him to clean a compartment scheduled for decompression. The technomat received a penance of Electro 7 whippings and a fine equal to his annual pay as punishment for negligence handling property. Oh, this one's new. High Overseer Gregoras of Viabo 6 rendered his duties with zeal, unfathomable and to the common mind. Under his leadership, the penal world became a paragon of order and peace of concentration. Oh, in concentration. I can't say it when you get locked up. Abelard, signing Sesame, your role as Seneschal. Yes. Oh my god, yeah, there's going to be memes of that. The criminals feared more than death. Strux spent his final years in a small, damp room, disturbingly reminiscent of a jail cell. He declined every award and honor for his service and preferred solitude to any kind of company. Cool. Urban Livestream cared more about preserving the influence of his line than the well-being of the Proctorate. His blind ambition lost him his governor's seat and the respect of his family. Well, we don't pick Livestream again. Within a few generations, one of the large houses of Dargonis turned into an obscure family of petty aristocrats. Gaprique missed the moment when her family, which had previously functioned like a well-oiled machine, started to fall apart. Fracked by infighting among her distant relatives, many blamed for Kiva Gamma's disaster. Soon, the Gaprique family splintered into warring factions and spent centuries locked in a violent struggle and only occasionally punctured by futile attempts to reunite the house. The sewer books were loyal to the rogue trader to the last. Despite all rumours to the contrary, finding little affection among his subjects or family, he stayed true to himself, remaining a forthright, service and pious person. Strive to ensure that every soul in the charge felt justifiable dread before both him and the God Emperor. Cool. Over the years, the Elder Surbak even grew close to the rogue trader, at least as far as cold and ill-disposed person could. After he proved himself a dutiful and merciless warrior, he became Warden of Dargonis and vigilantly guarded the Lord Captain's life and peace. Interesting. Surbaks redeem themselves. Members of House Wassarian served the dynasty faithfully and loyally, amassing more and more power. A century later, they had finally gained the respect enjoyed by other noble houses, yet power and luxury can dull any blade. The now pampered and idle aristocrats were scarcely recognizable as the sense of the sucks. The granddaughter of Abelard and Chancellor Dargonis executed her duties and even found time to school at younger generations of her family. She was an equally skilled mentor, chancellor, and political operative. After a century of immaculate service, she surprised everyone by leaving her position and became the first mate on a trade ship. She would later admit, like true Westarian, that she had always had a passion for ships and voidfaring. Nice. Oh my god. This is the longest part of the stream. It's just me reading. The Harlequin known as Nocturne of Oblivion visited the Expanse once again. Sneaking into Dargonis, he came to the Rogue Trader's palace and left him a special gift, a case of Aldari crafting, unmistakably ancient and precious, adorned with rune and an eye inside a triangle. Only Lord Captain knew what it contained. The Harlequin candidly warned him that he was drawing von Blance's dynasty into a deadly dance, a shaking doom that will freeze within the threads of terror and loom. Then he promptly departed, and not without reason. A few hours later, assassins from the Dark City appeared following his trail and were mercilessly killed. Their armor bore the sign of the Cabal of the Black Heart. Get fucked, Drukhari. The slide started 25 minutes ago. Oh, my dinner was ready back then. After months of searching, Dargonis wardens found the remains of Selklander on the lower levels of the hive. Drukhari artifacts discovered beside him indicated that the agent of the Inquisition had been compromised and was working with the Xenos. Yeah, he's a bit of a dick. Oh, Maeve! Maeve settled into life aboard the flagship surprisingly quickly, and her kindness and gentle nature touched the hearts of the crew. One dashing officer made his romantic interest known, but Maeve spurned his advances, hiding behind high collars and shawls, the disfigured marks of the dark ritual that had taken place on Facera. When Maeve's suitor at last secured her consent to marry, little did he know that he was walking into a blood-soaked nightmare. No! Just before the ceremony, his bride-to-be transformed into a chaos spawn. The cries of horror and despair, the creature gorged itself, shattering hopes until it was slain by the arriving enforcers. It said that as the creature lay bleeding, it tried to sing a surprisingly tender tune and called out to someone named Dean. Oh, no one gets a happy ending. The secrets of the Gene Stealer cult infestation in the Cronus Expanse was laid bare. A wave of purges rolled across many worlds with enraged rabble and planetary guards massacring thousands of those whose appearance diverged from true human form. Most of them were, of course, ordinary, abject, generic misfits and the luxury of rejects, but their lives were a small price to sector's purity. Get fuck iconoclast. Dogmatic don't get taken over by the Tyranids. Abelard Wisterian remained at the Lord Captain Seneschal, remained the Lord Captain Seneschal and right hand until his dying breath. House Wisterian, cleared of accusations of mutiny, dedicated itself to Dark Hornet's fleet. When years later Abelard left this world, the worthiness successor of his family received the honor of inheriting the high office of Seneschal. Abelard's shining memory was blighted only by rumors of creeping madness in the twilight of his life. Many said they had seen the esteemed Seneschal talking to someone unseen, his voice filled with unusual tenderness and sorrow. That's because I took him to X3. Yeah, Coffee Wife got fucked. After the victory of Epitaph, Argenta left the rogue trader, and in the insatiable flame burned brighter and brighter in her soul, hungry for vengeance. And so the sister embarked on her own personal crusade. At first she hunted down and exterminated the remaining followers of the Final Dawn. Then she pursued those who had abetted them, and then anyone in whom she saw a hint of heresy. Even when she directed her wrath against entire cities, no power could stop Argenta. Clad in her sacred armor, she left a trail of fire and blood across the expanse, a trail that ended on Salus Prime. No one knows why the sister returned for a third time to the planet where she had found her relic, but after descending to its surface, she mysteriously vanished. Since then, there have been incessant pilgrimages in search of Salus Prime. Legend has it that the renowned Argenta wanders the ancient ship, awaiting the hero of purest heart to whom she will bestow the one star, and mercilessly slaying those whom she detects even a sliver of darkness. No one knows whether the legend is true, yet thousands who tried to enter the ancient ship, not one has returned alive. Noise. Oh my goodness, Jay Hadari, I'm not reading all that. She left the Kazbala Commission and became an independent agent. Choosing one's destiny is a unique gift that ordinary mortals would never dare dream of, but Jay was no ordinary mortal. She found new friends skillfully dancing along the knife's edge between trade and piracy, stole from the strong, granted mercy to the weak, and even brought a couple of modest planets, but she never ever betrayed herself. Half-century later, her life was tragically cut short. A weak and little-known rogue trader dynasty led by a young and ambitious leader ambushed and captured Jay Hadari in order to appropriate her wealth. The von Valancius fleet strike was lightning fast, but Mistress Hadari could not be saved. She died in the hands of her captors. Fuckers. Cabela of the Bloodstone Web performed a great reading of the Emperor's Tarot, and the card of the night showed her the cult's new path and teaching. Cabela raised a generation of proud and fervent warriors and led the Scarlet and Black Army out of the shadows to descend upon a multitude of worlds and hound the faithless in the name of the undying Emperor. Rivers of blood spell unclean blood drenched the soils of worlds where the Bloodspin Web seeds had sprouted. Planetary rulers outlawed and hunted down the death cultists to the point of starting full-blown wars, but their armies were hopelessly outmatched by a host led by the Vizier Will and her powerful foresight guided by the Emperor's Tarot. Huh, nice. With her newly acquired power and resources, Jay expanded a great deal of effort and put an end to the cult of the Bloodspin Web. Bitch! The ease with which she sent assassins after the spinners and spread damning propaganda betrayed her strong vested interest. Many thought her actions were reckless and expected retaliatory strike to be delivered before long, but it never came. With the cards of the Emperor's Tarot spread before her in the darkness, Vizier Cabela performed one of the reading after another, but as much as it troubled her, she could not find no command to end the life of the brazen adversary. Thus the blade remained sheathed. Everyone on the ship knew about the liaison between Cabela and her domin, but they never knew it would never turn into anything but they knew it would never turn into anything greater. Reluctantly, Cabela grew distant from the Lord Captain, content with her role as her beloved's bodyguard and keeping her feelings confined in her own heart. As painful as that decision was, she saw no other path that the tenets of the Bloodspin Web could lead her down. Heinrich von Kallux, who we hope appears in Dark Heresy, the former interrogator of the Ordo Xenos, took the mantle of Lord Inquisitor after his mentor's death, receiving both the Inquisitor's rosary and his duty of defending the sector from the enemies of humanity. Von Kallux became the Warden of the Cronus Expanse. Von Kallux declared a relentless war against the enemies of humanity, be they Xenos, servants of chaos, or heretics in the Imperium's own ranks. The Inquisitors fearlessly eliminated numerous nests of corruption in the Expanse. Yeah, by himself with a rock saw. A few decades later, he was assassinated by the criminal cartel. Some say the Kazbala Commissions. Oh no, okay, he did. Never mind. Although the Bloodspin Web provided the Inquisition with many deadly agents, the contradictions between the Undying Emperor's whispers and the will of the Lord Inquisitor slowly grew as years went by. Eventually, the Death Cult splintered apart and rivers of blood were spilt. A number of the Undying One's servants renounced their vizier and founded a new cult bound by the absolute loyalty to the Inquisition, which they named the Shadows of the Throne. Contrary to the expectations of Vizier Cabela, was not angered by the schism. Instead, she saw the new teaching as another thread of service of the Undying Emperor. Until the end of his days, Lord Inquisitor von Kallux wondered just how much sincerity there was in the hearts of the renegades who had agreed to serve under his command. Which Psychic Executioner is stronger with the Lex DLC, Warrior or Blade Dancer? Blade Dancer definitely earlier, but a argument can be made for Warrior later, but at the end of the day, they both one-shot everything. In her journeys with the rogue trader, Cassia experienced all the hardships and delights of the galaxy. The invaluable experiences and new knowledge helped her to finally conquer her fears and accept herself and her powers. The Lady Navigator became the Novata of her house, tasked with addressing the consequences of chaos and followed her disappearance for the duration of her reign. She patiently worked on uniting the feuding branches of the house, forging alliances and expanding the influence of House Orcelio. The Stairway Atlas, which contained the memories of I'm not even going to pronounce that. Lost its power. House Orcelio navigators once again had to rely on skill alone in the depths of the Immaterium. Many lost their lives, but those who survived the crisis had become hardened veterans and pillars of the house. Most of the fortunate souls were young and brave. Too few among them were old and wise. Idra lived several more years after the Rogue Trader's grand campaign in Epitaph. Despite her short life, she left behind many legends and tales of her adventures in the Lord Captain's service and the terrible warp phenomena that she manifested. Whoops. Shortly before her death, Idra vanished from her post. Jay disappeared with her. When Jay returned many cycles later, she declared that Idra's last days had been full of joy and adventure, that her greatest pleasure had been watching the Void Whales play. Oh no, so this fucker normally takes out everyone, so let's see what he's been up to. In announcing the discontinuing of the cycle, the Armanac Collective instilled terror in the hearts of those who revered the theorems of purity, but it gave hope to others. After gathering its disciples and recruiting servo soldiers from vassal planets, it ventured into the worlds of Screaming Vortex and the Infernal Forges of the Dark Mechanicus. This march of reindoctrination was meant to seize the stolen secrets of the Messiah from the hands of heretics, temper the cults of the fire in battle, and transform it into a tool for both the eradication and comprehension. The fleet disappeared into darkness, and only rare echoes of the astropathic messages were ever intercepted. Cool. The unit Abel continued his service to the Armanac Collective. In Unity, the 5 companion minds, he rediscovered the joy of direct cognitive communications, unmarred by inborn otherness. Whilst outwardly silent, he joyfully described the images, concepts, and ideas that the Omnissiah revealed to him. Fulfilling his function, he overflowed with, yay, he didn't get killed this time, the truth of the fate of the Aldari Urilit, whom the Rogue Trader handed over to the servants of the Ordo Xenos, was kept hidden from the uninitiated. Years later, Solomon Anthar became Marshal and quickly tightened the requirement for all arbitrators. They were now expected to be beyond any reproach whatsoever in both thought or deed, as well as, oh my god, aesthetic to a religious degree. Under their Great Marshal's leadership, the Arbites became the true bearers of the Emperor's divine light. However, the lack of new recruits from across the moor would also doom them to extinction. After Solomon's death, the arbitrators continued to do their duty honorably until the day they too passed away, one by one, leaving the Chronix Expanse without their ever-vigilant oversight. So, following the transition of power from the Adeptus Arbites, Solomon rejoined its ranks, where he remained in its service for the rest of his life. Implacable and implacable and incorruptible good, Solomon was thrice offered the position of an Arbites Marshal, which he refused every time. Toward the end of his life, Anthar, though still humble proctor, wielded an authority surpassing that of all of his superior officers. This was likely the reason for his final and only successful attempt in his life. Oh, okay, so it's more about this. Not 100% sure why Jay's taking Idra on adventures. Makes me think she was... Yeah, no, it was weird. Like, they didn't have any, like, connection at all within the story. Abelard and Solomon spent most of their infrequent meetings playing Regicide, to which the Seneschal had introduced the Proctor. Meticulously recorded by Abelard's adherent, their games soon found their way into the collections of the best ones ever played in the Expanse, and were later referenced by many a noble Regicide. When the first officer, Wisterian, passed away before he could finish the last match in a long series of draws, Solomon attended his funeral in a full dress and regalia and placed a regicide piece on his grave. Cute. Marshal Anthar faced Argentus raised, armed and ready. Having foreseen this course of events all along, Solomon was able to protect many innocent lives from the all-consuming wrath of the mad sister of battle. He himself only faced his former comrade in arms once. The encounter left him without a left arm. Bitch took his arm! Duty demanded that the Magos and Marshal Anthar part ways. During their last meeting, Pascal made a few modifications to Glata's design, increasing the Side Mastiff's service life several-fold. Whether the gift had any impact on Solomon is uncertain, but it did. But on more than one occasion, having his faithful dog at his side would turn out to be his salvation in his darkest days. After witnessing the deeds of Marshal Anthar, Vizier Kibilla asked the cards about his fate. Very next day, a spinner was assigned to him, tasked solely with protecting Solomon from any and all assassination attempts. These were not long in coming, and the spinner's blade soon tasted the blood of heretics. For his part, the Marshal, after accidentally discovering that he had an invisible protector, had the spinner arrested and executed for multiple counts of murder. After burying his brothers, Ulfar felt the weight of exhaustion and loss on his shoulders. His loyalty to the Old Father was strong, but his heart had suffered much over his decades of battle. Unable to break his vows, he continued to sing the saga of his pack alone, the last of the baleful howl. Hundreds of legends on myriad worlds were told by the lone wolf. Covering his arm with grey cloak, he would appear and vanish again, leaving only the corpse of the unrighteous behind. Stories were crafted about the mysterious Avenger, and hundreds of young heroes, wolflings, began to follow him. Ulfar did not call on them, he did not remember their names, and did not mourn them. He longed only for an honorable death, but could not find it. He always survived. Except when he went to Space Marine 2, then he died in the intro. It's not the same guy. Thorvald Ironhide led the Stormbiters for decades more, exterminating evil in the Expanse and adding glorious verses to the saga of his pack. When he fell, his successor Halbrand decided it was time for the wolves to return home, so he led the pack into the moor. Whether they were successful in returning to Fenris is unknown. The Lex only cares what it is, yes. It is rumoured that the true cause of Thorvald Ironhide's demise was treachery. Faced with a superior enemy, the Space Wolves called upon their allies to help, but nearby squadron of the Cognatus fleet withdrew, defiantly broadcasting that the blood debt to the Archmagus armor is not forgotten. Oh, whoops. Such was the echo and the deeds of the rogue trader of the House von Valancius. Deeds that transformed the Cronus Expanse and prepared it for events even darker and more violent. But those are events for a different story. This one has come to an end. The end. Reading. Yeah, it's a different VA in Space Marine 2. Would you like to skip? Yes. So, that's it. We did that run. I hope you enjoyed it and watched my suffering of reading that for an incredible amount of time to the point where my words were becoming thick in my own mouth. But thank you all for stopping by. We'll continue the Subductor run another time. More builds are going to be getting to the sheet, so do check it often for edits, and I'll speak to you another time. And yeah, any of those looking to message me, the best way to do it is the Discord in the description below. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. As Dark Heresy hints, well, we'll have to find out. As I learn things, I'll let you guys know. But till then, I'm out. I need to go eat and rest my voice. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll see you next time.